Good afternoon, guys. Thanks for being here today. I do appreciate your time. What I'd like to talk to you about or show off to you today is a new kit from Silverfire stoves. So hang with me and we'll check it out. Alright folks, well like I said, I want to show off a kit to you from Silverfire Stoves. This is what they call, it's their new 304 stainless steel Ultimate Scout Kit. It is basically just a remodel of the Silverfire Scout that we've all probably seen in the past few years. So most of us have probably seen those stoves work on YouTube or maybe even in person. But this is a redesign. We'll get into the differences there here in just a minute. I wanted to go ahead and point out the first thing that jumps out to me about this kit. When I opened it up, the first thing that popped into my head was that this comes with everything you need to boil water, cook food, something like that. It just doesn't come with the food and the water. So without further ado, guys, let's go ahead and jump right into this and I'll show you what this thing can do. Let's go ahead and dive into this kit a little bit. Like I said just a minute ago, this does come with basically everything you need to cook food, boil water, except for the water, food, and fuel. The entire package itself comes nested in an MSR pot, which is really neat. So you get a pot ready to go. It allows for a really small footprint in package. Let's go ahead and tear this apart. As you can see, it's fairly used already. I've been really enjoying using this thing. First off, which I will highlight here shortly, it comes with a ferro rod magnesium bar mix. It also comes with a collapsible fork and spoon. So you even have utensils, and here you have the stove in its collapsed form. As I said, it all nests right down inside the pot, which is really nice. I like that concept a lot. I don't know if they designed the stove itself specifically around the size of this pot or if it's just a coincidence, but it works out really good. Alright guys, let's set this thing up and I'll show you what she can do. Alright, a quick breakdown. Here's the top ring. This goes in the bottom of the burn chamber. This is relatively unique, at least compared to a lot of the really cheap Chinese model stoves that are so popular on eBay these days. It does have an ashtray on the bottom, which in using it kind of helps reflect the heat back up into the burn chamber and helps it have a more efficient burn. Here you have the bottom and the burn chamber itself. That just slides down the bottom. You put that on top. Now guys, one thing to keep in mind, even with that ashtray down here, or the ash catch, whatever you want to call it, it will scorch the ground, whatever you put it on. So you do need to be very fire-minded and safety-minded. Clear the ground away, put it on a concrete block, something non-flammable. Real quick guys, I wanted to go over the design differences between the previous model Silverfire Scout stoves, which are now known as the Economy Scouts. Basically the main difference is, instead of having 3 pot stands on top, you have 5, so it allows for a more firm seat for your pot, your cup, whatever you're cooking in. It also, instead of coming in polished stainless steel, this is a brushed stainless steel. Personally, I think it's a bit more aesthetic, but you know, once you light a fire in it, it's all pretty much going to look the same. Now let's fuel this baby up and I'll show you what she can do. Well, before we get started into our fire prep here, I am going to pre-soak, get out of here, my dehydrated vegetables. Just kind of get a head start on this. Not necessary, but it helps. Save a little bit of time and fuel and energy. Alright guys, this stove was specifically designed to be a debris stove, you know, where you pick twigs and sticks and stuff off the forest floor and just use that with minimal breakdown of your fuel. However, it will work really well as a split wood stove as well, and that's what I want to show you today. Now what I'll do here, just split these down into various sizes. Some I'll leave in quarters, and some I'll take down finer. And I don't pack it 100% tight. Need to leave airspace and room to stuff down some smaller tinder to actually get the fire going. Alright, this is just pine needle, sawdust, birch bark. Not a lot of birch bark in here. Then we'll get some tulip poplar bark, put it on top. Alright guys, this is the Firestarter they sent with it. This is, I would say it's about a 1/4 inch ferrocerium rod on a I don't know, ½ inch or so magnesium bar with a wood handle. Just go ahead and show you a little bit. We don't need the magnesium today, but I want to show you how well it shaves off. I mean, it just comes right off. It's nice. And as hopefully you can see, the fire's kind of starting to go down in the cracks, catch up with that birch bark, sawdust, and other stuff. It'll take just a minute or two, and this thing will be rip-roaring along. Well, it's been about, I don't know, 2 or 3 minutes, and we've got a pretty good burn going on. This will increase to grow. I'm going to go ahead and set our pot of veggies on there. I'm making a miso rice noodle soup today with some veggies in it. I love making soup in the woods. It just, whether I'm backpacking, hiking, or just hanging out at camp, it makes you slow down, enjoy the experience, and enjoy nature more. I really enjoy soup in the woods. It's one of my favorites. All right, guys, we are at a boil. Now, these vegetables still need a little bit to rehydrate, but I'm going to go ahead and add the white miso soup, or the soup mix rather, to let the flavor kind of blend into the vegetables themselves. I want to show you that fire down here. The fire just kind of grows down the split wood here. Now I like that because it puts off almost as much heat as a regular debris fire. It's not, the flame's not quite as high, but yet it provides for a lot longer burn time. It does take a little bit longer to get it started, but it's just my preference, I guess. Now, as a small side effect of that, because this wood's not 100% dry, we've had a lot of rain here recently. In fact, a lot of rain here recently. If you're on the East Coast, I'm sure you can relate. It does put off a little bit of smoke. With 100% dry wood, it doesn't smoke any at all, except for when you first light it. Alright guys, we're about 5 or 6 minutes since we put the miso in there. Go ahead and drop our rice noodles in. This will turn it from a soup to almost kind of like a stew. Let those go for a couple minutes, and we'll enjoy some lunch together. See how it thickens it up really well? Kind of mix those rice noodles around so they're not all stuck together in one big blob. One thing I like about this, guys, is that with the 5 pot stands on the top of the stove, I can stir this pretty rigorously, and it's not going anywhere. So I've got another stove somewhat similar to this one that only has 3 stands on it, and there's no way I could do this. Not this, with this much force anyway. Alright, let's go ahead and take this off. I want to show you something. As you guys can hopefully see, our fuel's running low, but just the way they've got this designed, it does allow for a good coal base down there at the bottom. I love the fact it comes with a fork and a spoon. I can really manipulate the noodles around with a fork, and when I want the broth, I can go after it with my spoon. Way better than ramen, guys. Way better than ramen. And almost as easy, too. Only takes about 5 minutes longer. All said and done, this is about a 10-minute meal. Alright guys, let's talk about the stove some. Alright guys, well that was a split wood fire in the new Silverfire Scout, which it works really well. It starts off a bit slower than a regular debris fire, but it does have a longer burn time in my opinion. Anyway folks, what do I think about the stove? Well, honestly, put it right out there, this ranks up there with the best gasifier stoves that I've ever used. It is extremely efficient even with wet wood. With wet wood there is a little bit of smoke on it, but still it is an extremely efficient stove. And beyond the efficiency guys, the package this comes in, which my stove is still burning or I'd show you, but you saw in the beginning, it comes in a package about yay big. It all nests back down in that MSR Seagull pot. And what is really cool even beyond that is it comes with utensils, it comes with a way to start the fire, it comes with a pot, so I mean it is an entire cooking package all in one. The only thing you need is the food, the water, and the fuel. And back to the size of the package guys, I mean it may not be one of those stoves that folds down flat, but in this case I don't count that as a negative because it fits inside your cook pot. And the cook pot is small and the pot is appropriate for both 1 and 2 people. Probably could even squeak away with 3 if you're willing to do a more complicated cook. So with the size that it is, it could easily fit pretty much anywhere in your kit. Just slide it down to the bottom of your pack or in an outer pouch, something like that. And if you want it to be part of a car kit or a truck kit, something like that, slide it behind the seat, under the seat, just about anywhere. So with all that in consideration guys, with the size of the package, the fuel efficiency of the stove, and what all comes with the package, I really like this stove. It is one of the best ones I've ever used. So guys, with all that being said, I do highly recommend that you check out Silverfire stoves. I will put a direct link to this exact package as well as general link to their website in the description of this video. And lastly folks, at the time of this filming, I believe this exact package itself runs $112.95, I believe. It's right around $113. It does come with free shipping at this point in time, it does anyway. The stove by itself, I believe, is in the neighborhood of 60 bucks. I forgot to check on that itself, but like I said, I will go ahead and put the relevant links in the description of this video. But guys, as always, thank you very much for being here today. If you liked this video, if you enjoyed it, if it helped you make an informed decision about whether this is the stove for you, please go ahead and give me that thumbs up. Also, make sure to hit that subscribe button if you want to continue to see more videos such as this. And guys, please, as usual, hit up the comment section. Let me know what you think. Ask questions, start a discussion. Basically, let's just talk about it. Well guys, thank you again for being here today, and I will see you next time.